here we have the Bush Spira A1 5-inch smartphone. Here's the box. Here's Bush. Here's all the relative details. Just pause it and you can check it out. It comes with the latest lollipop as it shows. And let's just open this box up. And here we have the smartphone itself. Alright, take that out. Yep. And there we have the battery itself, and then we have the back rear casing with the extra provided casing itself here. There's the headphones. So there's the wall socket cover. There we go. And here's the charger. Here are just relative quick start guides. Yep. And yep. Here is a screen protector they give you included in the box. Alright, here we have the front edge camera, which is 0.3 megapixels. Then you have the power on button there, the volume rocker on the left hand side. Camera with 8 megapixel with a LED flash, and the bottom speaker and capacitive keys at the bottom, and that's the microphone as you can see. And
the Bush Spira A1, is it a phone to get? Well, let me go through some of the pros of it. Number one pro is that it can work as an Android phone. It runs pretty swiftly and pretty sleek. It just gets the job done. Also, number two, I would say, is what they give you in the box. In the box, they give you a lot of things. They give you a case, screen protector. They give you, obviously, the micro USB, which you need, the micro USB charging. They also give you the another back cover, which is amazing, and yep. So, and headphones. So, all in all, that's a pretty good deal, like having all these in the box, because a lot of the times you buy a phone, you have to buy the case, you have to buy maybe a back cover, or buy an extra screen protectors and things like that, and they include it all with it. So I think that's a great perk that they do, even though it's at a cheap price. Removable battery itself is a pro, because a lot of phones do not actually have removable batteries anymore. So having an extra battery, which you can probably buy for this phone, probably on Amazon or maybe at August, I'm not too sure, but you could probably buy an extra battery and you could put it in and quickly have it. So number 4 now is dual SIM. A lot of phones do not have dual SIM, especially in the UK. Maybe it's the same with the US, but UK, especially for what I know, don't really have a lot of phones that are dual SIM. And this phone has dual SIM, which is great for having some, like, let's say you're using a SIM card which you use to take calls and everything, but it costs a lot of money to actually run that SIM. But you have a cheaper one, like you get a gift SIM or a Borrow or a Leica SIM, and they have, then you can call at a cheaper rate with those. Then you can have 2 SIMs, like calling internationally you have 1 SIM, calling nationally you have 1 SIM, and in that respect, the dual SIM is a great perk. Number 5 is the fact that it has the latest version of Android currently running, so Lollipop. And because it's running Lollipop, it's quite smooth, and because of that, nothing really lags that hard, and that's one of the perks of using Lollipop, is because it's not as intensive on the CPU. So in that respect, this is a pretty good phone. Now let's go through the cons. Okay, this phone is a budget phone. Remember, this is a budget phone, so there are gonna be a lot of cons, right? They didn't make a phone to like stand out against every other phone. No. This phone is for people who just want to go into the Android market and then start it off. And in this respect, these cons, just look over them. They're not a big deal for a budget phone, but they are still a con. So firstly, the screen resolution. The screen resolution, as soon as you see it, we're like, oh god, when is this from? It's like 5 or 6 years back. No, not 5 or 6 years back, maybe 3 or 4 years back, and it's only at 187 ppi, which isn't that great. I've actually I still see tablets at a higher price, with PPIs that ridiculous, like 187 ppi these days isn't that great, but it's seeable and it's not like full on blur or anything. It's okay as a PPI. But yeah, it's still a con. Another thing is the phone has a bit of lag in some respects. It's quite fluid and stuff, but in terms of intensive tasks, it can't do it. So playing really high end games or things, it kind of struggles with those. But simple games, like I don't know, Flappy Birds or well, let me see, yeah, very simple game really, tic-tac-toe. I don't know, but yeah, then this is not for people that want to play games or anything, but for social media and stuff, this would be a great phone. Like, it's good for texting and stuff. I didn't find any problems with when I'm texting. It's pretty good, but for anything else, it's not that great. The phone itself, another con is the actual cameras as well. Even though they're low end, they don't really do anything software wise to make up for it at all, which I find kind of shame. Obviously it's a low end camera, but they could have done some enhancement features in the software side to make the pictures actually look pretty good, but it does still get the job done, which I'm pretty happy with. Another con is that it's easy, if you don't have like this back, for it to slip, because the actual thing itself is quite slippery. So let me just take this off. Yeah, this is actually well, it's not that slippery as like gloss or anything, but it is still slippery to some degree. It can still slip out in your hands if you don't have the actual any sort of case put on it. So I would definitely put a case on it, because it can get a bit slippery. It's not terribly slippery, but it is a bit slippery. But I do like that there's no fingerprint. It's not a fingerprint magnet. So that's really it. In general, I'm going to say that this phone is a great phone to buy for people who want to go into the Android kind of smartphone market and don't have a lot of money to spend. So if you really want a phone that you just want to take with you, or even if you want to take with you to travel, but you don't mind if it gets broken or stolen or whatever, because when traveling things happen, because it's dual SIM, that's great. That means you can, if you go to many countries or something and you want to use different SIMs, it's easier to when you have the capability of using 2 SIMs. The phone itself works pretty much as a standard phone and has the capability of what an Android phone can do, like web browsing and things. It doesn't have 4G speeds and things like that, but at the price of £50, I'd forgive it, and I would say it's a pretty decent phone. However, if you are going for budget phones, this isn't the phone I would recommend myself, but I would be recommending something like the Moto G. Obviously, right now the Moto G third generation is like around £130, so the older Moto Gs could be at a cheaper price, and I would recommend the Moto G over most other phones for a budget phone anyways, because Moto G really tries to give as much as spec heavy things as they can in a phone that other competitors can't, especially because they worked with Google. So that's all from me today, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Random help, over and out, and I'll see you next time.